Yeah, we have a few minutes left, and I did want to ask you about a subject that you
Okay.
you probably have some experience with, which is being a female atheist on YouTube. And I'm just
Mm.
wondering, for the people who may not be aware, uh, have you found that to be an issue in terms of how people respond to you in comments? One thing I have wondered for a long time is, how do we get more women? How do we get more people of color to be active on social media sites when it comes to talking about these issues from a non-theistic perspective, whatever version of that they want to talk about? But it's always been hard. And obviously, the more famous atheists historically are those white male academics. And I'm not even,
Mhm.
they don't control that. That's who they are. That's fine. But how do we get other people involved? And I'm wondering what your experience has been like. Maybe you have heard from people who are curious about it because um, they don't see more people like you online talking about these issues.
Yeah, oh man. I
By the
so
way,
I
you
always
now represent all women
Yeah,
and
barely,
all.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know. No, I think that I always knew that I would get a lot of pushback. I was used to it on TikTok. I got a lot of bad comments, mean comments, and they tend to be very sexist in nature. And actually, my channel name Jezebel Vibes, and that's my kind of been my branding since TikTok. That came from a comment from someone who told me I had Jezebel vibes on TikTok, and so they
Was
love
that a
to kind of
compliment or an insult?
no, no, it was an insult.
Okay.
It's like, "Oh, you've got the Jezebel spirit," "Oh, she's manipulative," and I don't know, but I just thought it was so funny that I adopted it. But I always kind of assumed that I got the normal amount of pushback, for what I was doing, and that it was just kind of the way things went. But I remember I had a talk with Brandon from the Mind Shift channel, and he had brought up in that interview that he felt like my comment section was a lot harsher than his. And then he felt like I got a lot more, I had a lot more videos that are made about me. If you look at my name, there are just endless white male apologists that are making videos and put with an arrow pointed about how stupid I am. And so that's very common.
Congratulations for being the star of a lot of YouTube
I
thumbnails. That's
am.
great.
There are some of them that their entire channel is dedicated to me, and it's just like this obsessive, strange male thing. I don't know. I don't usually really talk too much about like my place as a woman in this, but I do know that it probably is a very different experience than a lot of men. And I think naturally, not even just in religion, but in our society, women are just, we're inclined to think women are not as smart, not as capable, not as confident. And so I tend to be underestimated, but I always say it's my superpower that I'm underestimated because I always end up proving people wrong. So I kind of like being underestimated, but I do feel that it takes a toll sometimes. A lot of negative comments, a lot of people who just assume that I know absolutely nothing what I'm talking about, and that just want to school me. And people use a lot of sexist language. I have gotten some really violent, graphic threats through my emails from some people, and that happens. But I think that probably is a lot of the reason that you don't see more women, more people of color, that are getting on here and doing this, because it's taxing on your emotional state sometimes.
It can be. One last question for you, which is, in general, what advice do you have for people who have opinions on these things, whether it's religion or politics, and who may be new to all of it, whatever social media platform they're using? Do you have any advice for people on how to get started, what they may want to keep in mind that you wish someone had told you when you got started?
Um, well, I guess just speaking from personal experience, I have always wanted to show up authentically. I wanted to be genuine and not worry so much about algorithms and reach and all of that. I rarely ever look at my analytics, maybe once a month or so. I just really believe that if you want to do this because you are passionate about something and you have a voice and you want to use it, then you should just do that. And the more I have just showed up as myself instead of trying to show up as what people want to hear, even if I know it might be polarizing or I might lose subscribers. I've learned, especially since leaving Christianity, having always been told that my heart is deceitful and wrong and wicked and I can't trust it. I have learned the opposite is true, that listening to myself, trusting my intuition, which is my natural biological given thing to guide me through life, that has gotten me so much further than trying to show up and be something that other people want. And so I think, I mean, anybody in this space, I would say, unless you're trying to make like, the richest YouTube channel or something, that worry a lot less about what other people want to hear and just share your heart. And then also just be willing to be wrong, be willing to change your mind and be flexible and just be a human being that doesn't have to, sit on a standard of perfection.
I have found that as well. I cannot think of a single person who has thought about jumping into the fray and talking about this stuff, whatever the social media site is, who has come to regret it, only in the
Mhm.
sense that they have heard feedback from people who said, "Hey, I stumbled across the video you made or the post you made about this and it resonated." And
Mhm.
even for all the downsides of being public or doing this, talking about polarizing topics, there are people who find value in it. And a
Yeah.
couple last comments here. Kristi is my inspiration for starting my American Atheist chapter and protests in East Tennessee.
Yay, I
Very
love
nice.
that.
Another commenter points out there that your recent shift from talking purely about apologetics to talking about more political and Christian nationalistic type of stuff is welcome as well. They subscribed to you after you made that shift.
Love
And
it.
one other comment here, you're a unique and needed voice. Thank you so much.
Aw, thank you. That's
Very
very, very
kind
kind.
comments all around. I want to thank you for giving me some of your time here. I really appreciate it. Where can people find you, find your YouTube channel, and anything else you're working on?
You can find me on YouTube. You can search Jezebel Vibes. You used to be able to search Kristi Burke, but you'll find me a lot easier if you just search Jezebel Vibes. But if you search Kristi Burke, you just might find other people making videos about me. But I'm also on Blue Sky. I'm not on any other socials, but yeah, I'm on Blue Sky. You can look me up there, Kristi Burke. Very easy.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I hope everyone
Great.
subscribes to Christie's channel right now. It's such a joy to talk to you, and I look forward to doing it again in the future.
Thank you so much. This was an honor.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching.